back in the headlines. Recently, SCO, a subdivision of the U.S. military with ties to DARPA, released a video of micro-drones being launched from an F-16 fighter at 430 miles per hour. The Washington Post article titled, "Veil of Secrecy Lifted on Pentagon Office Planning Avatar Fighter and Drone Swarms," reads, "Canisters containing the tiny aircraft descend from jets on parachutes before breaking open, allowing wings on each drone to swing out and catch the wind. Inch-wide propellers on the back provided propulsion as they found one another and created a swarm." Paul Scher, director of the Warfare Initiative at the Center for a New American Security, wrote in his 2014 paper, "Robotics on the Battlefield, Part 2, The Coming Swarm," that swarms of robotic systems can bring greater mass, coordination, intelligence, and speed to the battlefield, enhancing the ability of warfighters to gain a decisive advantage over their adversaries. The announcement also represents another step toward total autonomous military robotics, a technology that top experts such as Elon Musk and Max Tegmark have been warning scientists to think twice about. SCO also said in the same announcement they have successfully developed and tested Avatar flight technology. Our new project, not previously reported, is called Avatar and calls for the Pentagon to pair high-tech fifth-generation fighter jets like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Joint Strike Fighter with unmanned versions of older jets like the F-16 Fighting Falcon and the F-A-18 Hornet, which will be flown without a pilot for the first time. Imagine this technology in the hands of the same government that was also forced to admit this week that it had been using domestic drones for domestic surveillance operations. USA Today filed the story, "Pentagon admits it has deployed spy drones over the U.S., detailing the fact that for the past decade, the U.S. military has been using UAS, or unmanned aerial surveillance technology, domestically, in spite of our Fourth Amendment right to privacy from the government." The article assures us that domestic surveillance operations were completely lawful. It also states that the Pentagon report made public through an FOIA request did not provide details of any domestic spying missions. So when they claim their domestic spying operations are legal, we'll just have to take their word for it. Kurt Nimmo adds in his article, "Pentagon admits to using military drones to spy on Americans. The Posse Comitatus Act prohibits the military from operating on American soil, and that the Environmental Protection Agency used drones in Nebraska and Iowa in 2012.
I have two words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming.
Rob Dew reporting for Infowars.com and Infowars Nightly News.
Throughout history, fear of change and the unknown has often caused heightened anxiety to countless millions of us in the general public. But if we look closely at history, this fear is often not born out of outcomes. In fact, the past is littered with stories of change that were feared in the early stages, eventually becoming accepted as a necessity, a comfort, or an option. A perfect example of this came early in the 19th century, when electricity would become an essential tool for modern life. The masses were used to lighting candles and having open flames to illuminate the night, with little regard for the danger of fire. But for many, the idea of an entire home being electrified created a new fear of electrocution. In one famous case, it is said that even though President Benjamin Harrison had electricity installed in the White House, he and his wife would not touch the light switches for fear of electrocution, often resulting in them going to sleep with the lights on. Clearly, in the case of electricity, public opinion has changed dramatically, as is true of so many other cases of societal change. Even though initial fear, followed by acceptance, is a known phenomenon, these same old feelings are still very powerful today, especially with our modern world changing so quickly. One societal change that is occurring today that seems to be following the same path are the feelings surrounding the rise and use of unmanned aircraft systems, or UASs. For many, their only experience with these vehicles comes from media reports about them being used by the military for intelligence gathering and defense. Those images, coupled with privacy and safety concerns, is causing some to fear using them back here at home. Many on the front lines of the UAS revolution see tremendous advantages by using these devices in civil applications such as farming, package delivery, wildfire detection, border security, and numerous other uses. Only time, lawmakers, and public opinion will answer the broader societal questions. But one thing is for sure, the technical challenges surrounding these vehicles need to be answered now. Once these vehicles begin to fly regularly here in the U.S., they clearly must be able to work within our current commercial airspace in a safe and integrated way. To make this happen, the government is turning to the world's leading aeronautical organization, NASA, to help develop the framework and lay the groundwork for integration into our airspace. Coming up on this episode of NASA X, we will follow members of NASA's Aeronautics Research Mission Directorate's UAS integration into the NAS project team as they tackle the major hurdles of integrating these types of vehicles into our daily lives. We'll see how researchers are solving technical challenges as well as concerns around human factors in an effort to one day allow these vehicles to safely integrate into our society.